thing about it. One of the interesting things being that I came across it the same day we destroyed their capital fleet. I think this came from Siskane and Coven. I could be wrong. The beauty, I think, this is a segue into propaganda. The beauty, I think, of this particular propaganda is the fact that dude couldn't figure out how to spell or even put spaces between words, but he used a comma and semicolon properly when he wrote it. And I thought to myself, I don't even know how to use a comma and semicolon properly. And we'll segue from there into some of our propaganda. This is something for newbies to kind of help them learn and figure out what it is they're doing, because when you get in fleet isn't the time to be asking questions. Perhaps you should do the tutorial. This was Groon. Sometimes you have a nice strong chain and there's weak links in it. This particular piece of propaganda came from the evacuation of Rise from Constellation in the south. If one looks closely, you may see perhaps the evacuation of Saigon, but there happens to be a Titan there. The difference between Saigon and the Rise situation is that in Saigon, the Titan actually showed up. This is just a really pretty picture. We used to use as who doesn't, Lord of the Rings themed call to arms type stuff. This is the riders of Goonhand. You got your Bosefs on the left, other stuff on the right, and Del. If there's one thing Goons take seriously, it's our posting. We don't really care so much about what happens in a spaceship video game, but when it comes to our forums, shit is real. This is a moderator who nobody seemed to care for called Moon Kitten, whose moderation capability seems to come from a bizarre scientific mixture of pee-pee and doo-doo. Some people ask me sometimes, Darius Johnson, how awesome is it being the CEO of Goonfleet? Which I'm not anymore, by the way. I didn't do an introduction. I retired for the birth of my child. It's pretty awesome, except that Goons take their posting very seriously. The Goonfleet CEO, some people don't quite get, is nominated based on a score that we get. On our own forums, we have this thing called rep, right? So if you make a good post in a thread, anybody in Goonfleet can give you positive rep. Hey, bro, nice post, positive rep. So you get plus rep and comment, right? But anybody on the forum can also give you negative rep. The Goonfleet CEO, once somebody retires, is decided based on who has the most positive rep, right? But as you can see here, maintaining positive rep tends to be a problem once you become the CEO. And Goons are not afraid of giving you their opinion. Bad post, bad poster, bad CEO. Sorry. I have a weight problem. And this is the other way Goons get back at you. We have our rep scores and we have our photoshops. This was actually very hurtful, and I was actually very hurt. And there was also this. We took the scope reporting video, and somebody saw fit to spend hours and whatnot renaming Epsilon Station and making note of the fact that no Darius Johnsons should be docking there. I was upset. Goons also like to give me little special surprises that I'm not quite expecting. There's the rep and the videos and the other things that occur, but then sometimes you get a little pile of gold from a GM. In this particular instance, let me read the actual complaint. Oh, somebody seems to have set up a pause with the modules in the form of a swastika. Not my fault. I didn't do it. But apparently it's something that needed to come to my immediate attention. The next one, station names. Apparently the station name G.I. Joe Date Rape Memorial, unacceptable according to the terms of service. We need to take the word rape out of the name, which we did, by the way, which leads me to my next slide. Which is that changing the station name to the G.I. Joe Surprise Sex Memorial was not sufficient. So a GM decided to step in and fix that particular problem in that case. This is a response to a question that I had, actually, because I've had about 20 little surprise piles of gold from the GM staff since I took over GoonSwarm. In this particular case, it was our alliance description. I don't set the alliance description. I mean, anybody can do that. In this particular case, the GM staff found the alliance description offensive to humanity. Or human society, as they read it. And apparently, though they can see that there might be some kind of self-condescending humor, saying that Goonfleet is a collection of HIV plus individuals from the popular gay hookup site, somethingawful.com, was a bit over the line. Humanity, I'm sorry. I'm just going to bust through these sides really quick because I'm pretty much done. Goomping is... Everybody knows about the Bob Barbecue, right? In Goonfleet, we ourselves like to get together to, you know, chat and have discussions. Talk about spaceships, that's pretty much most of it. This is a series of pictures that I'm going to breeze right through from various Goomps that we've had, real life conversations. Some of you may remember this particular chunky Aspie. He asked a question at the first FanFest in 2006, to which Over basically vomited and it gave us the memorable quote, "A Titan's not supposed to be cost effective, it's a giant dick." I did some research, and apparently giant dicks are cost effective. So I'm not quite sure what Over was going for. This is Goonfleet Karaoke, playing air guitar, of course. I'm not quite sure what song it is, probably Journey. This is Astro doing a little dance. This is a picture we like to call Daitengo Shrimp.jpg. He is fat and he is eating shrimp. This gentleman you can buy beer for. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you. We have time, maybe, well, we don't actually have time, but I'm going to make time for a few questions.
For the Goon person.
I'm an aeronaut.
Quite.
Is it true that the intention of the Goon Swarms is to break Eve?
That is quite an interesting question. I think it's a mischaracterization. Yeah, somebody just woke up. I think it's a mischaracterization based on statements that we made where, I mean, the bottom line is ourselves, just like you, or just like most of the people sitting in this room, gain our joy from blowing